night, Papua New Guinea, and welcome back to another great episode of Sports Scene. I tell you, we've got an epic lineup for you tonight. We have POMNA Netball Semi-Finals, the premiers, some big upsets there. We also have it on the show. And on the show, we are delighted to welcome the PNG Comos head coach, Stanley Tepend. He is the newly appointed SP Hunters head coach. And also, we went out on Saturday to POMNA Racquets Club to catch Pepsi Speed Squash Tournament, and the finals were played. Some of the best squash athletes of PNG took part, and the juniors, in their preparation for the Junior Oceania Championships happening in Sydney. And I tell you, there were some epic matches over the weekend, and I can't wait for you to join us to see some of the highlights and see some of the great interviews. We got to speak to the athletes that took part in the finals over the weekend. Now moving on to our weekend scoreline, the FIFA World Cup. I tell you, I don't know if you've been following it, but man, the FIFA World Cup this year is totally insane. A lot of upsets. You can see Senegal defeat Qatar there 3-1, and Netherlands and Ecuador drew 1-1. England and USA, I thought England would have an easy win there, but they drew with USA 0-0, no goals. And Australia defeating Tunisia to get their first win 1-0. Poland defeating Saudi Arabia, the Polish star Lewandowski there scoring a goal 2-0. And France defeat Denmark. Mbappe, too good. Kylian Mbappe for PSG scoring 2 goals in that game to end France that win 2-1. And Argentina, the superstar Lionel Messi, he created something out of nothing. That's why he's one of the best football players in history, scoring a goal, and young Enzo Fernandez also scores a goal in that game as they defeat Mexico to keep their finals hopes alive, winning 2-0, and Costa Rica defeating Japan 1-0. Morocco upsetting Belgium there. Big upset. Morocco defeat number 2 ranked in the world, Belgium 2-0. Croatia, too strong for Canada, defeating Canada 4-1. And Spain and Germany drew. That was one of the most watched games in the FIFA World Cup so far. Spain and Germany drew 1-1. And Cameroon and Serbia. Cameroon did a good comeback to draw with Serbia there 3-3. And Ghana defeat South Korea. I tell you, South Korea were the favorites in that match, but they lost to Ghana 3-2. And Brazil, Casemiro with the late goal to get Brazil the win. They won by 1-0. And Bruno Fernandes still in Portugal's spot to finish top of the pool and in the finals spot in the FIFA World Cup, winning 2-0 over Uruguay. And Senegal defeat Ecuador 2-1. Netherlands defeating Qatar 2-0. And USA, Christian Pulisic. If you're a Chelsea supporter, you know Christian Pulisic is one of the best players for USA, scoring the winning goal for USA, giving the finals hope alive, 1-0 over Iran. And the Three Lions, too good for Wales, defeating them 3-0. And that ends off our weekend scoreline. Up next, we have the POMNA Semi-Finals, the premiers. If you've missed it, well, you get to see some of the highlights and some of the interviews we had over the weekend. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Scene. We're here at the Rita Flynn Ovals, where we have Netball Grand Finals going on. The premiers playing, Mystics will take on Aroma Coast, and the Sparrows will take on Veupunama. Stay tuned as you can see some highlights of the matches, and we will speak to the victorious captains and the coaches after the matches. And I'm here with the victorious captain of Aroma Coast, the vice captain, my apologies. Marita Yamo, the vice captain of Aroma Coast, a big upset there, defeating the minor premiers 39-30. Big win, big congratulations to you. And how do you feel about that match?
Oh, we're so excited, and we feel good about the win. Our training commitment and dedication has paid off today, as we've never beaten them during the rounds, but we eventually did on the semis. So we're so happy and excited about that.
Big win. How was the preparations before leading up to this big match?
Well, we had to continue to do what we do. We come to training, stay focused, dedicated, and achieve our goal that we wanted for the semis.
Marita, the Mystics, that you said, as you mentioned earlier, that they are the minor premiers. What was the game plan today to take on the Mystics team?
Well, they're the most they're the more experienced side, so we just needed to play more faster, because they're experienced and they have the skills and all that. So we had to change the game plan and just do what we do best, and that's what we did today.
Yes, Marita. Finally, you'll be going up against the Sparrows. How do you feel about that, and what about the Sparrows that you and the ladies will go on this week to prepare for the grand final next week Saturday?
We're prepared for it. We're so excited. We're still gonna stick to the same game plan that we've played since the beginning. Stay focused, dedicated, faithful in our training, and we will be elevated to the next level.
Thank you, Marita, for joining us on Sports Scene. All the best to Aroma Coast as you take on Sparrows next weekend for the Netball Grand Final on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I forgot to mention that it's the first time for Aroma Coast to come in the semis, so we're pretty excited and we're going to do our best. Thank you.
We're here at Rita Flynn Netball Finals, and the match just ended. You saw the highlights. And yes, I'm here with the Sparrows head coach, Julian Leka. Julian Leka, congratulations on the win against Veupunama. Big win there, winning 36-22. How was that game, and how do you feel about the girls' efforts today?
We've been working very hard over the last 4 weeks because this has been a very short season. So my focus has been on strategy and strength and conditioning. So the girls have come in really prepared for this event.
Yeah, and this game, how well did you prepare for this game? Knowing that Veupunama are one of the best teams in the comp, how did you prepare the girls to come out victorious today?
We have been working on core work, strength and agility and speed, as you saw today or at the games. The girls have been really focused, and my shooting statistics today averaged 95%, which is probably the highest strike rate we've probably ever had in the Port Moresby netball competition.
And one thing, the PNG Peppers, how many PNG Peppers reps do you have in your premier team right now?
Right now I've got two, Jacqueline Lahari, Leslie Taviri at goal shooter, Kilala Owen and Neri Adula have been on and off, but those two have been consistent. And young Shana Zapelis at win defense. We've over the years have produced some of PNG Netball's finest players, and we are building the next crop, and which you saw today.
Yeah. Congratulations on the win, and we also had a big upset in the other semi-final. Aroma Coast beating Mystics. You will be going ahead to face off Aroma Coast next week in the grand final. How do you look on taking on that match?
You know, Aroma Coast, the girls from the Aroma Coast have a certain flair about them, and I like the way they play, and they're aggressive, and you know, they've been coached by one of my coaches, our best coaches, Aniyamo, and so I'm not surprised that they're in the finals, and my girls, but my girls are up to it. They're ready. They've been hungry for the last couple of weeks, so I think we're going to have a really good game next week.
Thank you, Coach Julian Lecker, for joining us on Sports Scene. We wish you and the Spurs all the best in your preparations for the grand final coming up.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming along.
Welcome back to Sports Scene, and we're talking rugby league. None other than the super coach Stanley Tepend has joined me. Stanley, thank you for joining us on Sports Scene tonight.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, Stanley, before I start, I just want to say congratulations on you being appointed as the new head coach for the SPPNG Hunters. Big reps to you. Wonderful World Cup, I'd say. Before we talk about the Hunters, let's get straight to the Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, how was it like, you know, in camp there? I saw some videos of the boys, and yeah, please tell us more about that.
Yeah, look, we enjoyed the 6 weeks there. Unfortunately, we couldn't come up with a very good win against a very good England side. But look, we started the World Cup campaign against Tonga. Prepared really well against Tonga, and you know, the game itself, I think everyone watched it there, that the boys performed really well. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win. Bounced back against Cook Islands, and then another win against Wales. We had a plan, a target to reach the quarterfinals, which we ticked off. Yeah, but just against England, you know, we didn't start as well as we wanted to, and but yeah, credit to the boys. We you know, had to do a bit of adjusting with a couple of injuries before the first game, but overall, I think we're pretty happy with the performance.
Yeah, Stanley, everyone really happy with how the PNG Kumuls performed out in the World Cup. And yeah, the big game was the first match that set out the tone for PNG Kumuls. And I tell you, everyone was behind you guys in that match, and no one predicted how you guys would perform against a strong Tongan side. And please tell us more how it felt in the first half, going into the second half. How was it like?
Yeah, Tongans had a lot of NRL players. We spoke about that. About their team before the game. You know, we prepared well. We brought the boys here in PNG for 7 days. We put a lot of emphasis on the Tonga game, and yeah, the boys, you know, didn't disappoint. We had a couple of tries that we could have scored. Dan Russell, one try there that he stepped on the line. In the second half, Roderick Tai, if he had stepped in, I think we scored, but you know, and it went down to the referee's decision, or the bunker said it was a no try. So we had our opportunities. We missed in the first half. We spoke about it at halftime, and yeah, the try by Lachlan got us back into the game off a good Edwin Ipape run from dummy half. So bounced back strong, but look, in those games you got to play up until the final whistle. And they scored right on full time. So a lot of disappointed heads, but we got a lot out of the game, and yeah, it was good to start the World Cup like that.
Yes, Stanley, that was a great match there, setting up the pace for the rest of the matches to come in. And talking about Edwin Ipape is a superstar. I tell you, in that World Cup he performed, he got the hooker of the tournament, and yeah. What was he like in camp, and how was his experience good for PNG Kumuls in that World Cup?
Yeah, before the World Cup, Edwin had he got the Player of the Championship, the competition that he's been playing with another PNG grade, Adrian Lamb, as his coach. So you know, Lachlan Lamb plays in that team. Nene McDonald plays in that team too, and Edwin was a key player for us, especially in the key position at hooker. And he was in devastating form before the World Cup, and he was just remarkable how he made the team of the World Cup. I think they had Smith for the Kiwis and a couple of the other Australian hookers there that he beat. So look, that's a credit to him and credit to how he's been playing this season.
Big ups to Edwin Ipape being a superstar and an inspiration to young Papua New Guineans out there. And our guys got a couple of train and trial contracts, Dan Russell, Sylvester Namo, and recently we've got Leon Undupea, who has signed a deal with Sunshine Coast Feeder Club. Please, Stanley, tell us more about the PNG Kumus players and if there are some other signings that we may not know of.
Yeah, the notable ones are Sylvester Namo. We had a guy from Cowboys come over and watch his games. I think they had eyes on him from the Pacific Test all the way to the World Cup. So he's on a 12-month deal down at the Cowboys. We've got Dan Russell there. I think through Shane Flanagan, the coaching mentor for the PNG Kumus, his connection with the Dragons, so through him, Dan Russell's doing pre-season down there. We've got also a Redcliffe Dolphins sort of deal through the Hunters Pathways program, so there's a couple of players that will go down there early next year. That's really exciting too, so I'm not really sure who will go down, but we'll make an announcement in the future. But Leon Indupea is a young kid, winger straight from the Mandy Marooks in the Digicel Cup. So he was given an opportunity in the Prime Minister's 13 to play. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play on in the World Cup, but he's taken that opportunity. They've reached out to him and he's signed. We would have loved him to stay with the Hunters, but look, it's an opportunity for him, and he's signed, and that's as far as I know. I think Dilbert Isaac as well. A couple of the boys that have played rep games this year have signed. So once their contracts and agreements sort of come out more clear, we'll be able to talk more on that.
Yeah, that's great, Stanley heading in coaching the PNG Kumus to another quarterfinals. Big reps to you and the boys. And let's talk SP Hunters. You're the new coach for the SP Hunters. Knowing you've been under Michael Marum, and then now you were under Matthew Church, and now you're the head coach. Stanley, big congratulations to you. And what do you bring to the table for next year, and how do you see on how your squad should look?
Look, firstly, I'm grateful to Coach Michael Marum, Governor now of East New Britain, for the opportunity he gave at the start. And then obviously Matt Church, this year's coach. All the best to him and his coaching role with the East Tigers. But look, the opportunity for me to become coach, I'm grateful to the SP Hunters board members, Stan Joyce and the board members, and the PNG Rugby League Chairman Saka and CEO Stanley Hondina. Look, it's been a hectic 6 months for me personally. A lot has happened, and look, I'm grateful and humbled for giving this opportunity to coach the Hunters. All I can do is give my best, I guess, and I'm excited that we've picked a squad already that was announced start of this week, and there's a couple of players that have experience in the past, a few new guys coming in, and it's really exciting. Look, all I can do is just prepare them well in the off season, and the good thing is we're going to be based back in PNG. We'll have the home support, family support for the players. That helps, especially when big games and tight games. So for me, it's just to assemble the squad, prepare them well. I've got good support staff. There's a lot of changes we've done from my staff to how we're dealing with the preseason this year. And change is good, but change brings a lot of ups and downs as well. We just got to deal with it, and my job is just to prepare them the best I can for the season next year.
Yeah, Stanley, congratulations. And I tell you, I've followed you since you've been with the Lace Next Tigers. I'm a big fan of you, and I know everyone's watching, knowing the type of coach you are, a success story, coaching the PNG Kumuls, and now the SP Hunters head coach. Big congratulations to you as you head off to preseason and prepare for next season. Thank you very much for joining us on Sports Scene tonight, and we wish you and the PNG Hunters all the best for next year's Host Plus season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And there you have it, the PNG Kumuls and newly appointed SP PNG Hunters head coach Stanley Tepend joining us tonight. We'll be back with more on Sports Scene. Good night, Papua New Guinea. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Yeah, there we spoke to the newly appointed SP Hunters head coach Stanley Tepend. And yeah, we are happy to have Stanley Tepend join us on set. He talked about the PNG Kumuls and their SP Hunters next year. I can't wait to see them play next year. But before I continue talking, we also went out to POMNA Racquets Club to catch the Pepsi Speed Squash Grand Finals. Let's take a look at it. And we're here with the POMNA Racquets Club coach, Marako Suari. Marako, the Pepsi Speed Squash tournament just finished and we just witnessed the grand final. Please tell us more about the tournament, how long it ran, and how good was it?
Oh yes, we had Pepsi come on board to support our last event for 2022 at the Port Moresby Racquets Club. So we ran 6 days of squash over 3 weeks. Which saw 6 teams come on board to play in this tournament, which was a different format to our traditional way of playing squash. So instead of best of 5 games, we played best of 3 games. The tournament was good, which saw a lot of our juniors that take part in our development programs at the club for squash come through and play very well and perform well in the games, and which showed today between the two teams, Mojo Social and Consort. A lot of the juniors that were in that team made it through to the finals, and Mojo coming on top as the winner for this Pepsi Speed Squash. And we look forward to more partnership with Pepsi next year onwards.
Okay, Marako, the junior squash coming up. The juniors, this was more like a warm-up match to them. Yes, and how do you look on them taking part in that championship, and how is the preparation going?
Yes, so because of COVID, we didn't have a lot of tournaments for our juniors. So we have one at the end of this year, which is in December. It's the Oceania Junior Championships that will be held in Sydney. So we have about 5 or 6 of our juniors that will be traveling. And they will be led by one of our top female junior players, Amity Alakos, which also represented at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. And we have a couple of younger ones that are on the team. Unfortunately, we couldn't send the whole group, of course, due to the visa restrictions and all that. But we hope to use this tournament as a gauge for those juniors, and as coaches try to work on where we can fine-tune them and prep them for more events that are coming up.
And Marako, as you mentioned, it's good that after COVID, squash is getting back its players and the sponsors coming along. And how can we sign up to take part next year in 2023? And to the viewers out there who want to play squash, where can they find the POMNA Racquets Club?
POMNA Racquets Club is located around the East Boroko area between Port Moresby Grammar School and Babaroko Primary School. So you can come to the Racquets Club. We've got membership form at the bar area where you can pick up and sign up, and we're not expensive. We're reasonable for people to come and sign up and try a different sport.
Any word to your sponsors and to the sponsors of the squash?
I want to say thank you to Pacific Industries and Pepsi for coming on board and supporting us, our last event of the year. We look forward to working hand in hand with Pacific Industries, Pepsi, and help develop squash in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Marako, for joining us on Sports Scene.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm here with none other than our Junior Athlete of the Year, Amity Alacross. Amity was the only female who participated in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham for the female division, and Amity will be going to Sydney for the Junior Championship. Amity, how has the preparation been going for you and the team as you prepare to go for the Oceania Junior Championship in Sydney?
So far, the preparations have been well. Our juniors they have 3 to 5 sessions a day. 3 to 5 sessions a week. So we have strength and conditioning sessions, and then we have court sessions. So we're doing well so far. We've seen huge improvements in the past few weeks, and I'm really glad that we have more than just me going down for these tournaments. Really good.
Yeah, well, that's great. And today we had the grand final, the Pepsi Speed Squash, and your team coming out victorious there. How do you feel about that match? And please tell us more about the young boy who played in the match today, and he came out victorious. Any new guys that the finals tried to win the tournament this year?
Yes, Andre has been doing very well. He's improved. He started off at a young age. I think he was 9 or 10 when he started. I'm not sure. But so far, he's been doing very good. He's been having 3 sessions a week, and his progress has been very well, yeah. And
Amity POMNA Racquets Club is the home of squash, I would say. What can you say to the young viewers out there? They would dream to become superstars like you as a young athlete. What can you say to the young viewers to come out and play squash here in the POMNA Racquets Club?
Yeah, here at the Racquets Club, it's not just a sporting club, it's also a family. So we have plenty supporters, we have sponsors coming in every year. It's a family club. Just if you have nothing else to do, come on, try. You may find yourself having squash as a passion, or even tennis. It's a really good start.
Lastly, do you have anything to say to the sponsors?
I'd like to thank Pepsi for sponsoring this Pepsi Speed Squash tournament.
And thank you, Amity, for joining us on Sports Scene. We wish you and the team all the best in the Oceania Juniors Championship in Sydney.
Thank you.
And there you had it, Pepsi Speed Squash. Big congratulations to Mojo Social on winning the finals of that tournament. I tell you, it was my first time to witness a faster game of squash. And let's head straight to the weekend preview. This is the last round of the FIFA World Cup before heading into the finals. On Friday, Croatia will take on Belgium, and Canada will take on Morocco. Japan versus Spain, Costa Rica versus Germany, and on Saturday, South Korea versus Portugal, Ghana versus Uruguay, and Serbia versus Switzerland, and Cameroon versus Brazil. I tell you, those are big matches. That's all the weekend preview I have for you. And if you're a Brazil supporter, if you're a Portuguese supporter, and all our French supporter, I know your team's in the finals, and you'll be happy and you'll be excited to see your team play out in the finals. I tell you, France, Portugal, and Brazil, they were sitting comfortably in the group stages, and I can't wait to see them perform through the finals. Can the defending champions, France, defend their title at the FIFA World Cup right now? Kylian Mbappe and his crew. Well, let's talk about FIFA World Cup. If you've got a sports story for us, please do contact us on the number on your screen, 312-9229, or you can email us at sports@mtv.com.pg, or you can Facebook us on our Facebook page and inbox us on a story, or if you want us to come to you, we can come. You can be featured on the show, or you can be here with me on set and I can't wait to see some of the cool stories you have. And yeah, our athletes playing out this weekend. And we also had the NSL finals taking place, the quarterfinals. Kuri FC will play Lay City FC. Aporo FC will take on Lay Natives. Gulf Comora versus Kimbe Eagles. Hekari United versus Panguna Metals. If you're doing nothing, come down to the Sir John Guy Stadium and catch the NSL quarterfinals. I tell you, Papua New Guinea, we can't wait to see new champions, or can Lay City defend their title. They are winners, they are champions 3 years in a row, and I can't wait to watch the finals. And yep, that's all we have for you tonight. From the director and the group and I, thank you for joining us on another wonderful episode of Sports Scene. If you're playing sports this weekend, please do take care, and good night, everyone.